Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu einer neuen Folge von Let's Play Skyrim Let Edition. So, und jetzt können wir die Quest machen. Genau, da starten wir an Falkenring, würde ich sagen. Falkreach. Falkreach, Blackreach, Azarreach. Naja. So, ja, da ist das richtige Richtung. Scheint so. Und wen haben wir denn hier? Carina. Achso, ja, Carina kennen wir ja. Carina kennen wir. Ja. Ja.
Ist das Fell, das euch da aus den Ohren wächst?
Nein. Warte, oh, wo ich da gerade von höre. Ich kann ja mal Sachen verkaufen. Ah, wo ich gerade schon hier bin. Warum was mit mich umtragen? Mit mir herumtragen.
Missachtet das Gesetz und ihr missachtet mich.
Weil Leute immer diese Person, die etwas ins Haus verfolgen. Waffen. Diese Rüstung. Zaubertränen, okay. Bücher. Das hatte ich, glaube ich, doppelt. Das Feuerholz und ja, das war's.
Bis zum nächsten Mal.
Ja.
Ich habe mal...
Ja.
Glaubt bloß nicht, dass er mit mir falsch...
Leute. Da komme ich nicht rein. Ich komme hier aber bestimmt über diese Brücke. Sieht gut aus. Da war ich, glaube ich, auch noch nicht, oder? Ja, ist ja richtig nutzlos. Ja, dann halt hier lang. Geht auch. Das sind auch ein paar Wachen, das heißt ganz ungefährlich. Ganz gefährlich ist es ja auch nicht. Warum liegt hier? Achso, das ist ein Vogelnest. Sieht eher so aus, als wäre dann Hühnerei gewesen, aber ist wohl nicht so. Könnt ihr mit mir gehen? Das ist sicherer.
Früher war ich auch ein Abenteurer.
Aber dann hast du einen Fallensblick bekommen. Boah, ehrlich. Wundert mich gar nicht. Die Krähen sind hier. Krähen sind doch immer so Zeichen für Hexen. Dachte ich. Schattengipfelturm. Was ist die Quelle von den Unruhen da? Hallo.
You have something to say? Well, save your breath. The way I see it, you don't have much more left.
Nein, ich habe ein bisschen mehr. You should be careful who you threaten. You're the one who's down to her last breath. Say why before I kill you. Just wanted to talk. Du solltest vorsichtig sein.
Threatful, but it can be. You seem tired is all. Out of breath.
Naja. Your concern is duly noted. I'm fine, so. I tire of your taunts. Let's dance. I wish to know your name. Nein. Stießübungen sind Disteln, die sind meistens nicht so. Die sind eher so Aua.
Is that right? So you're a fool and a liar. Good to know.
Ja, es wäre gut to know deinen Namen zu wissen. I wish to know your name. Hallo?
Son of Cloud Ruler Temple, named me the Desert Fae. The Thalmor know me as Death's Courier. To you, I am simply Savashni, the Khajiit who spared your life.
Okay. Tell me about your armor and sword. Das ist so ein Samurai, keine Ahnung.
Akaviri, forged in a dragonland, is a sword and armor of blades, sworn to the service of the true emperor, but know this. My sword serves no one. You could be Tiber Septim reborn, and I'll still send you back to the Divines with your head in your arms.
Ja, ganz sicher. I fear the blades do not recruit those who will not serve. If you're a blade, you're out to seek revenge, not hide away like a coward. Is he rather young for a blade? Ist der erste.
You think I knew who they were, and not who they are. The Blades are a group of bandits, rogues and traitors. Most of all, they are fools. Fools who couldn't see past their own weakness. Like parasites who cling to the lion's mane. The weak must ally with the strong, and pray they aren't flipped off by the stroke of its tongue. It makes no difference whether this Titus Mead is of dragon blood or schemer, just that his army stands between them and the executioner's axe. If the Blades weren't fools, they would measure their emperors by where they seat their Thalmor guests, at the table or on a pike.
Du, aber vor 4 Folgen, glaube ich, habe ich eine Gruppe von diesen Blades getötet. You may not be a blade, but I doubt you're some scavenger. If you're looking for a fight, Skyrim is a good place as any. Where do you hail from, brash one? And you also interesting news?
True. The one I killed to gain this armor was indeed a blade, a master of the dual sword technique, and my mentor. He was a man of 40 years, and I no older than a dozen, when I first bested him in single combat, yet he was still my better, and our bodies would never be at an age where I could prove otherwise. At 16, my mentor had exhausted his use to me in terms of body. I would have granted him death right then, if not for the secrets his mind guarded.
Welche Geheimnisse hatten sein Körper gesichert? What secrets?
The Way of the Nine. Stances and techniques derived from the teachings of the Divines. That was his legacy, and his gift to me, his only pupil. But only when I was ready. A phrase thrown around by masters of all disciplines who wish to teach their pupils the value of patience. What I wasn't ready for, and never would be, was religious nonsense with which he dressed the art of the kill. Now as I enter my prime, I search for the lesson that escaped into the void when we last crossed our planes.
So you killed the one person who could teach you. Smart. Without the blessing of the divines, we are but beasts, slave to the ocean. What's so special about this Technik? Ah, wir nehmen das erste. Ich finde, das ist ein bisschen, ja, ne, schon toll.
Fool, your words display the emptiness of your mind. It was my mentor himself who stated the stance of Arche was one passed on through death. Yet it's possible, as Arche governs life and death, that it was a test of one's scruples, and in killing him, the technique is lost to eternity. Yet if I hadn't struck the killing blow, then I myself would be lost to the void, and that's a trade only imbeciles like you would find worthy.
Okay. Tell me about the Way of Nine. Of the Nine.
You will understand little of what I speak, and much of it is of no practical use, but facile metaphors tossed around by dying man. But I will enjoy watching your brow twitch in confusion as I pass his words on to you. Take, for instance, Debella, the god of beauty.
Okay. Was ist so speziell an dieser Taktik? What's so special about the technique?
Fool, the stance of Arche is the very heart of the dual sword technique. Life and death, ice and fire. The nature of all things are born of two. This duality applies to both life and battle. When a mortal kills a foe, in that instant, Arche grants death to one and life to the other. Or so the priestly ones will tell you. Yet the true duality lies not in the dirt and stars, but in how the blade serves as both sword and shield. Twin moons, one sky. Each blade shifts from offense to defense, a mirror reflection of the other, and the opponent knows not where to strike. Yet as it is not a single stance, but a motion that adapts to its opponent, it has proved as impenetrable in theory as it is in practice.
Ich bin daran interessiert, wie du deinen Master gekillt hast. I'm interested in how you killed your master.
It snowed that night when it should have rained. My mentor looked at the sky and said Kynareth was all out of tears. I said, Kynareth does not cry for fools. We drew our swords and dashed through the trees, our feet rapping against the snow. The night before I had chosen my stance. While most would use the flurry of Akatosh, the technique is too violent. I could kill my mentor and lose sight of the very thing I sought to learn. And in the spiritual sense, the father does not come before the son.
What stance did you use?
It was the defense of Zenithar that shielded me from his attack. If I saw both his blades as swords and not shields, I could parry, if not kill. Our blades clashed, but made no sound, muffled by the snowstorm. His swords came at me from all directions, but I kept my eyes on his feet. Or more precisely, the tracks he left in the snow. There was a pattern there, if only I had more time.
So, you switched stances.
To Akatosh, I went for the flurry and the kill. Yet when I saw his blade rise to the block, I hesitated, only to see that very blade run me through. It was then that he revealed the true essence of the technique. I assumed he moved to protect his life, when his stroke came for my death. But the blade missed my heart by the width of a cat's hair. I made no such mistake with his neck.
And so you killed him, und so hast du ihn getötet.
Just like that, it was over. I dropped to my knees and reached for my potion as his body drowned in a cascade of snow. I tossed the half-empty bottle beside his severed head and said he could have the rest. When he didn't respond, I couldn't help but laugh. All of it, the tracks, the blood, and his legacy, washed away in a tide of white.
It's way of 9. No, my quest finde ich gut. If you're looking for a fight, Skyrim as good as place as any.
What you consider a fight, or even a war, is nothing more than a brawl between drunken louts over spilled drink. A great swordsman's talents are wasted in a war. Stray arrows, trebuchets, accidents. Many great warriors have been felled by the blade of chaos. One can't even trust his own side in the haze of war. Who's to say who's friend or foe, when your eyes squint through guises of dirt and smoke? Like your queries, they range from the utterly pointless to the completely meaningless.
You know what's meaningless? Your existence in about 2 minutes. Is available snorts who fill the horn of Sovngarde of what back to the fur. Only the weak far chaos. I guess that solves a mystery of you. You're right. One-on-one combat is the true test of one's mettle.
Then we agree on something. It's not often my views line with that of the simpletons. Perhaps I need to re-examine my position.
Die Leute sind alle so beleidigend in ganz Skyrim. Was ist denn das? If you loathe this land and its people, then I'd suggest you leave. Then why you stay in Skyrim?
Another simple query from a devout simpleton. The answer is tall, green-robed, and uglier than imp. The Thalmor's tentacles extend all across Tamriel, but in Skyrim, their presence is weak. While they are busy protecting their vital organs, they will bleed out from their wrists with every Justicar I slay on the road below.
Okay. Ja. Where do you hail from, Brush One?
Cyrodiil, fool, from the steps of Cloudwheeler Temple. From whence I came before that, no one knows. A blade who had left the service found me as he descended the steps. To him it was a sign from the divines. In truth, it was just a cowardly mother, waiting for the opportune time and a man with forlorn eyes. Having left the order, his eyes were indeed tainted with sorrow, and for that he pitied this kitten when he should have abandoned it. Yet it was his newly discovered faith in the workings of the gods that inspired him to develop the skills for which I'm the caretaker.
Sounds like fate to me, so you can't have easily been dead. If not for this series of coincidences. Ich hab doch keine Ahnung.
The world is full of such tales of fate and coincidence. That's what we burn into our memories. And all the other instances, every day we live without incident, those moments are never ascribed to the laziness of the gods. Just forgotten.
Ja, hat ihr noch ein paar Gerüchte oder interessante News? Any rumors, interesting news?
A dragon roosts in the hills to the south. Having just gained life, it's not eager for death, therefore it's my steel.
Noch mehr?
I confess, I've killed enough Spriggans to start my own sawmill. I could kill you too and sell the bone meal to my father.
Natürlich. Noch mehr?
There's a stag that passed through here, white as a summer cloud. The hunters think it would look better in red. Fools all become heroes when their opponent is a helpless beast.
They sound like Falkreef is a dangerous place to hunt.
You are a simpleton to assume that I am only drawn by death. Life too flourishes in this hold. The garden of ferns, thistle, and mountain flowers that grows in this hollow column stills my blood and allows me to meditate. At night, the hunters camp at the mountain top affords me a view of the land. On clear nights, a bright necklace of stars.
Ja, danke.
Be gone, then.
Hey, ja. Keine Sorge. Aha. Was ist hier drin? Auch Gold. Ist hier schön, was hat er dabei? Ja, eine Distel. Eine Distel, die ist lustig. Eine Distel, die ist schön. Also machen wir hier einen Cut und bis zur nächsten Folge und tschüss.